So here comes the Dead Alive swimmer from Hyperlastics. That's my new swim bait. That's a soft plastic made of soft tough material. That means the material itself is buoyant. You can rig it on wide gap hook, weighted or unweighted, and that's a big difference. Let's have a look first on a weighted one. The great thing with this bait is you can swim it extremely slow. And that's the problem. Most swim bait at very slow retrieve, they have no or almost no action. This guy have a great lifelike motion, very realistic, even at a very slow pace. So if you want to target, say, largemouth bass along, grass line or ambush, quite often that's the way you want to use this bait. Just cast and have that steady, slow to medium retrieve. Beautiful, beautiful action. So you've seen the action with the weight. One thing is also the weight sinks. It's quite interesting. So if you have suspended fish, it sinks pretty nicely. A little bit of an angle, but just not the nose down, which is very realistic. So it allows you also to cast this guy, let it sink down, and then later on retrieve it like this. Let it sink, reach the depth you want, and then swim it. And look the way it sits on the bottom too. So when you make a pose, you have that very realistic position of the bait fish on the bottom. So for a finesse action, you just can crank 1 or 2 turns, stop, pause for a few seconds, start again. This lure will fool many big bass and other big fish, finicky fish especially. Now, what happens if you use a non-weighted hook? Yeah, so when you just put a not weighted wide gap swim bait hook on a slow steady retrieve, it swim, and when you pause it, now it looks like dead or dying bait fish on the top. That's why the name is Dead Alive, because this lure you can use it in a way it looks like alive, and in a way it looks like dead, and right in between, dying. You can work it also kind of like you will work a frog. Look at that, like a dying bait fish. Swim it a bit, pause it. So with this kind of rig, you won't be afraid to fish any kind of spot like lily pads, grass. You can twitch a bit. It does well with twitching also. You see, dive a bit and then it comes back and floats like a dying bait fish. So this is the Dead Alive 125, and that's new at ICAST 2019 Orlando.